everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is Laura. Today what I'm going to share with you is how to make a French bread. A beautiful, crusty on the outside, soft as can be on the inside. I used to be very intimidated to try any type of bread, self-rising breads. You just have to sometimes just keep giving them a try until you get it right. And this recipe is very easy, very simple, not too many ingredients and not expensive at all. I've been messing around with this recipe for a while till I finally got it right, and I think that you will really enjoy it. Before we get on to the video, if you are new here, welcome. I sure hope you consider hitting that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, and you will be notified every time I upload a video. If you are a regular here, thanks for spending time with me today. I know you have lots of options, and I appreciate you. I will have the recipe listed in the description box below, right under the title here. If you have any questions, just leave me the questions in the comments and I will get back with you. Don't forget to go visit us on Facebook and Instagram at Virtual Kitchen with Laura. Okay, let's go ahead and jump on into this recipe. Alrighty, we are going to start this recipe off by proofing our yeast. We just want to make sure that our yeast is okay. I'm going to put about a teaspoon of flour and a teaspoon of sugar into my water that we're going to use for the bread. Just going to give it a little mix, and then we're going to add our yeast. And this gives the yeast something to feed on. If it starts to foam up and it gets all nice and frothy, you know your yeast is good and you're not going to waste your flour and everything else you put into your bread. We're going to let this sit here for a few minutes until it starts to bubble up. I can already see some bubbles, but I want it real nice and frothy. In the meantime, this is our flour that we're going to use. I'm going to add the remainder of the sugar, the salt, and we're going to give this a good whisk. Let's get a lot of air into this flour, and that'll make your bread a lot softer on the inside. Of course, we still need to add our shortening, but I just love to get that air in here. Okay, and this is going to be ready to go. And then here we have our shortening that we're going to add into our mixer. Okay, our yeast is ready. As you can see how frothy that is. I'm going to move you over to the mixer and we'll get started. Okay, we are going to add our flour. And then we are going to add in our shortening. And before we add in the yeast, and we're going to put in our dough hook, I'm going to give this a mix and mix in that shortening. Just low and slow. Okay, we're just going to give this a little mix here, and we are going to add in the yeast. Make sure you get it all out of the glass. And start off real slow. It's best to incorporate the flour very slow. Try to be a little bit patient. Alright, now that this is all come together, I am checking it. It doesn't seem too sticky, so I think it's going to be fine. I don't think we're going to need to add anything else, but we'll check it again. We're going to let this go for exactly 3 minutes on medium speed. Okay, don't take it off, don't check it or anything. It should be fine with the measurements that I gave you. Okay, we're going to let this go and I will be right back. Alrighty, this should be ready. See how soft this dough is? Very soft. You pull it and it doesn't tear. That means we're good. Okay, now I have my dough here, and we're going to put it into a bowl. See how soft that is? It's so soft. Real nice. Okay, we're going to put some olive oil into our bowl and just smear it all the way around. Because when your dough proofs, it won't stick to the sides. Okay, and then tap some on top of your dough. so that it doesn't dry out. Flip it down and flip it over, and there you go. You're going to cover it with some saran wrap. And then I cover it with a towel. Put it in the warmest place that you have. I like to use my microwave. I cover it up real nice and tight like a little snuggly baby. Put it into the microwave. Of course, the microwave is off. Leave it in there for an hour. Forget about it. Set your timer and it should be ready to go. So I will be back after this has proofed. Okay, everybody, we are back. Here is what the dough looks like. It's already proofed. We are going to take it out. I have a cookie sheet with the parchment paper. Let's do this first. We're going to add some cornmeal to the bottom of this. And then we're going to take our dough. How nice and fluffy that is. And we're just going to roll it over and pinch it into a roll just like that. Hope you can see that. And we're going to put it on our tray. I'll shape it however you want to. You know, the French loaf is normally pinched on the ends, but you can do whatever you like. And then we're going to brush it with an egg white. I have an egg white with a tablespoon of cold water. Okay, you get a pastry brush. And we're going to brush the top of the dough. Okay, and that should be good right there. And then I take my cutter and I cut a couple of slices or a few slices, whatever fits here. And then we're going to cover it again and we're going to let it rise one more time before baking. So I'm just going to lay this on top just gently like that. Don't press down. Put it back in a warm spot in your house. And this will take about 30 minutes before it's proofed again. So we will be back in a few minutes. Alright guys, here's our bread that's proofed. I'm going to pop it into a 375 degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. You check your oven, everybody's oven is different. And I will be back to show you as soon as this is done. Here is our bread right out of the oven. You can hear, very, very crunchy. It's very hot, so I can't handle it right now. I'm going to wait till it cools before we cut into it and give it a taste. So doesn't that look beautiful? Look at that. Let me turn it around. Look at that. Nice and golden brown all the way around. Let me see if I can flip it over for you. Look at that. Nice and crunchy. Okay, let it sit there, cool off, and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, here is our loaf of French bread. I am going to go ahead and cut it. It's been cooling for a while. Let's go ahead and cut this. Yummy. Look at that. I hope I can bring you in close enough to take a look at this bread, how beautiful it looks. Nice and crusty. Great for a hot soup or just for breakfast. I'm going to cut this in two. Look at that. How soft that is. Look at that. Delicious. Alright, I like it with a little bit of some softened butter. And let's give this a taste. This is very good. I hope you give this recipe a try. This is delicious. It's very soft but yet crunchy on the edges. I think this would be great with some breakfast, with some frijolitos on top or a scrambled egg, or dip it in some hot soup. It would be delicious. Give it a try. Come back and let us know what you thought and leave it in the comments below. Okay guys, that's going to conclude the video for today. Thanks for spending time with me. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. That really helps out the channel. Alright, I will see you on the next